Yeah.
So, like, I remember, you talk to people and they're like, oh, albums are never finished. They just, like, take it off you.
Yeah.
And this was definitely the most that.
It's okay.
That's it.
What? What's he saying? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Smashing English. Before we start this video, be sure to subscribe because we make new videos all the time and I don't want you to miss any. So with that said, let's get on with the video. Today, we are looking at Harry Styles. Lucky us. Now today we are particularly looking at his accent. Now why on earth do we need to look at his accent? Because if you are learning English, it's really useful to be able to understand many different accents. Because as lovely as she is, if you only ever listen to people who sound like Emma Watson, you're going to be very confused when you listen to people speaking English in a different way. And Harry Styles has a very interesting accent, so I want to talk you through it. I want to explain the different features he has. Why does he say some vowels like this? Why does he say some consonants like this? Let's talk about it. Because the more you look at different accents in detail, the better your English listening will be. Trust me. So first of all, let's look at a history of where Harry Styles has lived so that we can better understand why his accent sounds the way it does. So according to Wikipedia, Harry Styles was born in Redditch, which is not far away from where I grew up. It's probably about an hour. It's in Worcestershire, like the sauce, which is quite close to Birmingham, but it's not a Birmingham accent. People in Worcestershire do not sound like they are from Peaky Blinders. They have quite a standard English accent with hints of Birmingham Midlands in there, but it's not extremely strong. But then when he was a child, he moved to Holmes Chapel, which is in Cheshire. And Holmes Chapel is not too far from Manchester. So I think this is where we hear most of his accent coming through. If you look back at old videos of Harry Styles, he sounds a lot more northern Manchester. Not really Manchester, not like Noel or Liam Gallagher. He's not that far, but he definitely has these northern influences. He's definitely not a southern boy. And now I'm guessing he spends a lot of time in London or LA. I'm guessing those are the places where he spends most of his time. So now that we know all of this, we are going to watch a video of Harry Styles together and we are going to pick out the little details. We're going to see, ooh, that sounds quite Manchester. Oh, that sounds quite LA. To see if we can understand what accent he has now. So let me get my very tangled, why do headphones always get tangled? You can put them away in the best way, but they will still. Okay, so we're going to look at Harry Styles' interview with Zane Lowe for Apple Music for when he did Harry's House. That's what we're looking at because he talks quite a lot because it's an interview. So let's start right from the beginning. Off we go.
My favorite thing about it is, like, it just feels the most like me.
Yeah.
So, like, I remember, you talk to people and they're like, oh, albums are never finished. They just, like, take it off you.
Yeah.
And this was definitely the most that.
It's okay.
That's it. I
It's
love
okay.
it. I listened once. I didn't go like, not that.
Oh, very interesting. Okay, a lot of sounds here, a lot of sounds. So let's start from the beginning. So
My favorite thing about it is.
So straight away, my favorite thing about it, that went very kind of Southern American. He said, my favorite thing about it, that can be found in Cockney, but also a lot of American dialects. So I'm guessing that's an LA influence. Also because he doesn't say about it, he goes about it, and he turns the T into a D. That's extremely American.
And this was definitely the most that.
It's okay.
That's it.
The most. I'd say his O's, the O diphthong, I'd say that's where he sounds the most Manchester, because he wants to turn it into this O sound that you have in Manchester. And because he doesn't have a lot of other strong Mancunian vowels, it always jumps out as a bit of a strange sound, because if he was being fully Californian, he would go, my favorite thing about it is it's the most, he would make it more like most, but he doesn't, he goes most. So that's why his accent sounds so random.
Albums are never finished, they just like take it off you.
Yeah.
That sounded quite London. Take it off you. Take it off. We love to drop a T. They just take it off you. Because he doesn't need to drop that T. Because straight after the T, there's a vowel. Take it off. And if we were being perfect received pronunciation, we would say take it off you. And if we were being Californian, we would say take it off you with a D, but he doesn't, he goes take it off you. He drops the T completely, so that's quite London.
Loves you back when you're doing well, and like if you're not, you're just out.
Out. You're just out. A really wide vowel there, out. That's really Californian. Like, from what I know about California, the vowels are really like relaxed and wide, you know, like sort of really open. And that's an influence I can hear in him, is he's relaxed, he's chill, and that's having an influence on how he says everything.
Ow.
And that's like, it's understandable that it's really scary to...
Dark L's, interesting, dark L's, which is a feature of Manchester actually. So instead of going really, la 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 la, with a light L, where we just tap the alveolar ridge, la la la, he goes really, and makes it a dark L, where we push the tongue up to the top of the mouth and go, ooh, really, really. So he's doing a dark L, which is not London, it's not RP, it's not Californian. I think that's the Manchester in him.
Go away, and
like, it's not and, he's not doing a wide British he's going and really tight like Americans do.
You know, no one's talking about me.
I love his necklace.
No one
Very
cares,
pretty
or
necklace.
like all of that stuff. Get into that kind of place, and like, I have to get onto social media and like remind people I'm alive, or...
Alive. That's quite northern. Alive. Dark L. Alive. Because see if you can hear the difference. This would be RP, like Emma Watson. She would say alive. Alive. He goes alive. 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 I stretch the vowel Manchester. That's what he's doing.
All of that stuff, and I just kind of feel like I did a lot of that kind of constant thing.
A lot of, so he's got this habit of dropping a T before a vowel, which is quite common in lots of places in the UK. I'd say a lot of UK accents are getting lazier. So it used to be, we only drop a T if there is a consonant after it, like fat cat. We might drop it there, fat cat. But now, especially in London, especially with younger people, we drop the T even if there's a vowel after it. So we'll say fat orange. Don't know why we would say fat orange, but we do. But if you are an English learner and you want to be clear and understood, I wouldn't recommend doing this. So I wouldn't recommend dropping your T before a vowel. I know you hear it a lot. I just did it there. Hear it a lot. I know that you hear people like Harry Styles doing it with this glottal, hear it a lot, where we stop it in the throat, but it's very hard for a non-native speaker to do this and for it to still sound really clear and crisp, because if you're doing that sound along with lots of other sounds from your own accent, it can just get a bit confusing. So get in the habit of pronouncing the T's. Okay, so far the biggest Americanism I'm hearing is in the cat vowel. So this sound. Now, if he lived in Manchester all his life, or lived in Cheshire all his life, I would expect him to say and, band, cat. This sound with no change, no diphthong, just a straight But now I'm guessing because of the LA, because of being around American people, it's become and, band, cat. Like it's more, there's more of a diphthong in it. It's more changed by the consonants around it. That's very different. So that's definitely an influence of the US on him.
Yeah, You're never going to be up here forever, so you better find something else.
Better.
The best people who are truly like unicorns of music are the ones who do it and then are gone. So you never see them anywhere else. And eventually they're up here enough that when they come back, it matters. And
it matters.
For a really long time, I was terrified of what my life was if I wasn't.
I'd say at the minute, he's like a 50-50 sound split. So he's 50% making sounds of Northern England, and he's 50% making, no, 70% making sounds of Northern England, 30% making sounds of the US. But the attitude that he has in his mouth, like the way his mouth is moving, is very California. It's really relaxed. You know, if you think about colder countries normally have languages that are quite sharp, and they have accents that are more tense in the mouth and require your mouth to be closed a lot more, because when it's cold, you're tense and your jaw tenses and you don't want to open your mouth too much. Whereas hot countries, think about Australia, you know, like in Australia, the vowels are so open and like they talk sort of as wide as you can, you know, everything is wide like that because it's warmer and they're relaxed and they can open their mouth. So he's doing this relaxed hot country talking, but he's not from a hot country, he's from a cold country.
And then you're faced with a time when you can't do that. And the great leveler of like, it doesn't matter how much money you have, doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter this, doesn't matter that, you can't travel, you can't do this, you can't go outside your house. It's like suddenly,
that's Northern England. That's Northern England. When you have a schwa, and instead of going suddenly with an open you go suddenly. Same in Birmingham. If you've ever heard the Birmingham accent, we say suddenly. People in Yorkshire, suddenly. Making it an So he's still got that sound from Northern England.
I feel like I, you know, kind of had a little bit of a chance to focus on that, at least for a moment.
Whoa, so we can hear a lot of sounds there. I had a little bit of a chance to focus. So we've got American, Northern. Had a little bit of a chance to focus, that O, Manchester O. It's fascinating. I would say that Harry Styles' accent is something on its own. So I would say Harry Styles' accent, in my opinion, is Northern England / Manchester / Californian influences / London tease. It's a whole different thing. And that happens sometimes, and this is why it's so useful to listen to as many different people as you can. If you only ever listen to people with newsreader voices, you know, like RP, standard English, then when you hear someone like Harry Styles, it's going to really confuse you because they'll say a certain word with this sound, but then they'll do this, and it's just going to be very confusing to your ears. So make sure that you're stretching your listening practice. Make sure that it's not just people who speak RP. Make sure that it's people who have lived in 5 different countries, people who speak English as their second language, people who have a very unique accent. The best listening practice. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this video was useful. If you liked it, please give it a like. And if you want an online one-to-one English lesson with me or my partner Bez, the link for that is down below. And I'll see you next time.